Now, usually in a comments video, I will show you a selection of comments from flat earthers and creationists. However, something slightly different this month as I bring you a full comment debate between me and a flat earther. Hello all and welcome along to another comments video with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Omaze. I am again really excited to be working with Omaze to bring you the opportunity to win an eco-friendly Tesla Model X Plaid and support a great cause, Reverb. You just need to go to omaze.com/Simon to enter for your chance to win. What I love about Omaze is it gives people the chance to dream big and win once in a lifetime prizes, all whilst helping non-profits make the world a better place. This sustainable approach to fundraising means that non-profits can spend less time and money on raising funds and instead focus on serving the needs of their communities. To date, Omaze have raised over $150 million for charity. Quite amazing. Now, as many of you know, I'm a bit of a green enthusiast and I love my cars too. So having probably the most desirable electronic SUV in the world would be quite something. I'll be driving it everywhere. And the kids think Teslas are awesome too, so I'd get some serious cool dad points as well. Its electric tri-motor powertrain packs 1,020 horsepower, making it the fastest accelerating SUV ever. And if that's not enough for all of you subscribers to get excited about, it also boasts a 17-inch infotainment screen, rear seat screens with wireless gaming capabilities, and of course, Falcon Wing style doors. And I'm sure many of you would be enjoying this too. Plus, it's a climate change double whammy. Not only is it a green prize, the charity involved, Reverb, is green too. Leading the green music movement since 2004, Reverb partner with artists, festivals and venues to help reduce their environmental footprints, whilst empowering millions of fans to take action on today's most pressing environmental issues. How can you not get behind that? So for your chance to win an eco-friendly Tesla Model X Plaid, go to omaze.com/Simon and enter now. Donations support the amazing work of Reverb. Right, back to today's video, which, as I said before, is a slightly different version of the usual comments video. There I was one day on my Simon Dan Facebook page, link is in the description for that, when up popped a comment from a flat earther regarding one of the recent videos I just published. Now, as many of you know, I don't usually debate flat earthers. I don't debate established fact, but I had some time to kill and I wanted to see what this flat earther had got. So I indulged him. Let's start with his original comment. Robert Cratfell, the truth that this clown is trying to pass off CGI images as authentic to the plebs, correct? Terrible, terrible debunk. Like no point watching further, complete clown. So our friend Chad here has a problem with my explanation regarding footage from the ISS. Very interesting. Here was my reply. Simon Dan. Chad required field. CGI in 1972? Yeah, sure mate. Chad required field. Simon Dan, that is your rebuttal? Pathetic. Now, I thought my rebuttal had legs. After all, this was CGI in 2002, and that film had a budget of $60 million. I then decided to challenge him on my response. Simon Dan. Chad required field, you've called it pathetic and ignored my point. So you believe that we had CGI capabilities in 1972 to make a realistic looking Earth? Fair question, isn't it? Let's see his response. Chad required field. Simon Dan, buddy, you legitimately should find a new career. Whether we call it models, /CGI, /paintings, /renditions, there is no difference. It doesn't look real because it isn't real. Want to debate some real flat earth arguments with me? I've seen 3 minutes of your video. You don't deserve the traffic you get on YouTube, and I feel sorry for anyone who legitimately has such a low thought process that they believe you. How about you show me, using the scientific method, how large bodies of water can stick to a spinning ball? Now, of course, he moved the goalpost as usual by talking about paintings and models as well as CGI. And that, of course, is a different kettle of fish. But I wanted to call him out on his use of the term scientific method regarding his question. Simon Dan. Chad required field, you expose yourself when you say stuff like, you show me using the scientific method how large bodies of water can stick to a spinning ball. You've been swallowing too much to bay. How about you give me positive proof of a flat earth rather than bashing the globe? Flat earthers hate this question. It's always globe bashing with them. They never have positive proof of a flat earth. Chad required field. Simon Dan, I expose myself. How so? I am merely asking you to show me how the foundation of your belief system is possible scientifically. i.e. using the scientific method. Can you not show me this? I thought us flat earthers are idiots. Now at this point I decided to come clean and admit that there is no test that we can do here on Earth to show water sticking to a ball in the manner he wants. Simon Dan. Chadwick Widefield, you expose yourself as someone that parrots nonsense. You parrot Debay and Oakley and Vice and Bob, thanks Bob, etc. It shows you don't understand physics. Gravity keeps everything on the planet. That's our explanation. So there is no experiment that we can do to simulate water sticking to a ball in the manner you ask for. Because the Earth's gravity will be greater than any ball we use. So the water will be attracted to Earth, won't it? And fall off the ball. Now back to my question and the positive proof, please. Now I went back to my positive proof question after answering his question regarding the scientific method and the water sticking to a ball. This was his reply. Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, so you cannot replicate it and are relying on CGI images as proof. That makes it pseudoscience. Simon Dan. Chadwick Widefield, no, because you are making the claim that they are CGI. Let's take the 1972 blue marble. Can you prove that it's CGI? Yes or no? Chadwick Widefield. Please debunk how we can see at this low estimate of 600 miles without curvature right here and now. Now, notice here that Chad immediately ignored my question, asking him if he can prove the 1972 blue marble was fake. And then he decided to disregard the 1972 blue marble picture completely. Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, show me one real photo of Earth from space that's not a rendition / CGI / painting, etc. right here and now. Simon Dan. Chadwick Widefield, I just asked you. The 1972 blue marble, can you provide proof using the scientific method that that photo is fake? Yes or no? Now, I realised that the scientific method part that I mentioned was not necessary here, but I like to throw their own arguments back in their face. Now note that this is the second time I asked him, and he actually sort of has a little go, bless him. Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, absolutely. As Earth is not as close to perfect sphere as they show us in that picture, and that it is more oblate, therefore by elimination has thus been edited. Now please show me one real photo of Earth from space. Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, do you deny my comment that Earth is not a perfect sphere? Of course this is laughable. The oblateness of Earth can't be picked up by the human eye, so I decided to tell him that. Simon Dan. Chadwick Widefield, come on. You're supposed to know this stuff. The oblateness of Earth had a 40-kilometre difference between the diameter pole to pole and the diameter of the equator. You think the human eye can pick that up in a photo? Lol. So I ask again, can you, using the scientific method, prove that the 1972 blue marble is fake? Yes or no? Third time of asking here. And yes, I know 1972 blue marble is probably the most spoken part of this video. Apologies for that. Well, what happened next was actually quite bizarre because he seemed to think he was in an entirely different conversation. Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, I am seeing a trend here where you don't really answer anything. Cannot prove using the scientific method large bodies of water curving and sticking to a spinning ball, claiming the blue marble is a legitimate photo even though it's basically a perfect circle and Earth is alleged to be an oblate pear-shaped spheroid, not to mention discrepancies between all other Earth photos and continent sizes, which comes down to the crux of your evidence. If you believe the blue marble image is completely real, the Earth must be round, otherwise your claim is not scientifically provable. Like I said, pathetic, the worst debunk I have ever attempted to watch. Now, it seems here that Chad does three things. 1, not listen. I gave him a thorough explanation regarding the oblateness of Earth. 2, make stuff up. I answered both his questions and then he struggled to answer mine. I don't think I dodged anything. Did I? And finally, he definitely parrots Debay regarding his continent sizes comment. That one's been debunked hundreds of times. Now I was getting annoyed with this slipperiness, so I carried on with my questioning. Simon Dan. Chadwick Widefield, hang on, I've just explained that the oblateness is not detectable with the human eye, so therefore it will look like a circle, won't it? So again, for the fourth time, can you prove that the blue marble is fake using the scientific method? Yes or no? 4 times. Wow. Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, so again your claim is that we would see Earth as a perfect sphere. The comment you dodged before you need to answer? Chadwick Widefield. Simon Dan, a simple yes or no will suffice. Chadwick Widefield. Just for transparency with anyone passing by, the reason he won't directly answer the comment is stalling is because he doesn't actually know the answer and is troubled of being caught in a lie. And again, I'm fairly sure that I answered his questions. Or am I missing something here? Chad continued to get confused as he then went on to claim that using the scientific method for other bits of evidence, not regarding the 1972 blue marble was enough to debunk the 1972 blue marble. Chad required field. Simon Dan, by process of the scientific method, i.e. being unable to prove water sticking to a spinning ball, by process of lack of measurable curvature, just like that Jay Tolan video seeing 1,000 miles without measurable curvature, which is 1/24th or a little over 4% the circumference of the alleged globe, of which that percentage will be visible from the alleged space photo. By process of all of NASA's Earth shots are different and CGI/renditions, your claim is for me to trust a picture created by known liars? Yes, I can prove, using the scientific method, that if zero curvature is detected, that photo is fake. And I am expected to trust a photograph taken by known liars and faker, proven using the scientific method. Ridiculous, right? Simon Dan. Chad required field, sorry, didn't see this reply. I'm not asking you to trust a photograph. I'm asking you, can you prove explicitly that the 1972 blue marble is a fake? I'm not interested in indirect evidence here. I want direct evidence that shows the 1970 blue marble is fake. Yes or no? Fifth time of asking the same question here. Chad required field. Simon Dan, I just did, and the scientific method was used. We have established that a 4% path of the Earth is flat, which alone is enough to change the shape of the blue marble to not a perfect circle. The probability that Jay Tolan Media by chance could pick the one flat place on Earth to test scientifically is in the realm of impossible. The fact that 70% of the Earth is water, and water always finds its level, and that you cannot prove otherwise using the scientific method. You now expect a photograph taken by known liars who have been caught faking everything to be taken as fact over my facts. Scientifically proven using the scientific method, observed, tested and concluded. I was of course dumbfounded here. Simon Dan. Chad required field, wow, how are you not understanding this? You are taking all of that evidence and using it to make a claim that a photo can't be real because of said evidence. I want direct evidence that the photo itself is a fake. Can you do that? Yes or no? Sixth time. Is he really not understanding that I want direct evidence that the 1970 blue marble photo is a fake? Chad required field. Simon Dan, now you're being desperate, buddy. By process of elimination and the scientific method, the blue marble being a perfect sphere in that photo is impossible, which concludes it is not a real raw picture of the Earth, and you now expect everyone to trust NASA over observable, testable, measurable evidence. Quite frankly, I have made you look quite silly here. If I were you, I would delete this entire thread. Your livelihood is at stake. Good day. He's made me look silly apparently, even though he's still not understanding my explanation regarding Earth's oblateness. Simon Dan. Chad required field, what are you blabbering on about? I've already said yes, we would see it as a perfect sphere because the oblateless is not enough to see. What's hard to understand about that? This means that your argument isn't debunking the blue marble. So, fifth time, can you prove the blue marble is fake using the scientific method? Yes or no? Actually, it was the seventh time. Poor counting from me there. And Chad decided that he had enough at this point and left the conversation. Chad required field. Simon Dan, some people believe NASA's lies over real eyes. Not you though, you're a shill. A poorly constructed one with pathetic arguments, but still a shill. Good day. So I said goodbye as well. Simon Dan. Chad required field, have a good day yourself, Chad. I'll hold that insult though. You lost before you started because of that. And there we go. What do we all think of that? Did I make myself look silly? Perhaps I did, but I definitely answered all of his questions. Let me all know in the comments below what you think of Chad's debating skills, but for now we're all done and dusted for another comments video. Normal service will be resumed next month. Thank you so much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. If you enjoyed it today, please do consider subscribing to the channel as well as liking the video, and there is of course a playlist for all the comments videos which you can go and check out. Just enough time to once again thank Omaze for sponsoring today. Remember, for your chance to win an eco-friendly Tesla Model X Plaid, go to omaze.com/Simon and enter now. I've been Simon Dan, have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Flat Earth Fail Compilation 41. See you then.